Hi, everybody. I had so much fun playing with the Spirit Box on last night's show. It's very early in the morning on October 20th. It's early Saturday morning. It's 1 o'clock a.m. And I had so much fun with the Spirit Box on the show, but I had a guest, and I thought I wanted to dig into this a little deeper, so I'm doing just this very special bonus video. And this is going to be a 15-minute video, and we're just going to play with the Spirit Box. So I just want to say that this is kind of a video for more intensive research in the sense that I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking. I'm going to spend a lot of time playing with the Spirit Box, and we'll see what happens. And I'll have some questions along the way. But it's not about me talking, it's about the Spirit Box. So there's going to be stretches where it's just the Spirit Box going on. It could be random stuff. Who knows? We're finding out together what this phenomenon is like and if there's anything to it. Like I said, I'm interested in this. My interest is piqued, but I'm still an adherent of the scientific method, and I have to hold some skepticism back and look at this objectively. So we'll just play with this together and have fun. But I've had interesting results. I will say that. I've had interesting results. So enough of that. Let's get to it. For those that didn't see episode 19, which was the regular Friday night show, I got a Spirit Box app on my iPad Pro. And technically speaking, I don't know how I feel about computerized Spirit Box technology in general. I'm kind of a firm believer in old analog technology when it comes to EVPs. I think the lower the tech in some ways, the better. But then again, that's just an opinion of mine, and that opinion could be wrong. It could be just as easy or easier for discarnate entities to manipulate computer slash digital technology as it would be to manipulate something more hardware based, analog based, tubes, wires, that sort of thing. Yeah, basic early telephone versus cell phone. Which one would be easier to manipulate from a multi-dimensional standpoint? Who knows? I can't answer that question. We're not trying to answer that question. We're just going to see if the Spirit Box works. So please use your own intuition, use your own logic and reason, and listen and watch and decide for yourself whether you think this works. Don't take my word for it or anyone else's. I'm not trying to tell you that this works. I don't know. I don't know if this thing works or not, but we'll play with it together. Like I said, this is hardcore. If you're wanting excitement and blah blah blah, that's not going to happen. This is going to be, we're going to dig deep into the Spirit Box. So if you're ready for that kind of thing, that's cool. I know there's some of you out there that will be interested. So let's play. I'm going to there's two buttons on this. Once again, I'm not endorsing this app. That's why I'm not saying the name of it, and I'm not going to really show it. But there's an experimental button, and there are two phases, left and right. I take it all the way to the right means more experimental, whatever that might mean, or less experimental. There's a volume knob, and then there's a speed knob. The speed knob has three settings. All the way to the left, there's a middle toggle location, and then a right toggle and the speed. And there are 4 banks of pre-recorded audio snippets, which are letters and parts of phrases. And I can't exactly speak for the developers of this. I don't know what these audio snippets are made out of, but it's all kinds of stuff. And that's why I have to maintain some skepticism, because anyone might be able to build an algorithm that would put together little snippets to throw out random words every once in a while, just enough to tease you along and keep you interested. And your imagination could fill in the rest, if that were the situation. And I have to objectively hold out for that possibility. So once again, but so it scans through these 4 banks, and it's kind of interesting. And there's an on-off button, and then there's a mute. Like I hold it down, and you can't hear the scan. And then I take my finger off, and you can hear it. I assume that is to ask questions. So I'll do that. I'll ask a few questions along the way. I don't have a script. This is all improvised. That's just me and you here playing with the spirit box. And I've used up 5 minutes, so then we'll get into 10 minutes of experimentation here, and we'll leave it at that. So without further ado, here we go. I'm just going to push the on button. We'll get a baseline, see what it does for a little bit. Then I'll push the mute button. I'll ask a question, and then we'll see if there are results. And we'll play around with the different settings as we go along. Thanks for doing this. I'm glad you're watching. This should be fun. Here we go. Baseline.
Sarah.
You can see where it'd be easy to extract some kind of meaning out of this. I haven't asked any questions. This is just an app running an algorithm. Then again, it can produce compelling results.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my finger on the pause button. And actually, it's a mute button. It's still running, but I'm muting it. And we'll ask a question, and I'm going to let it run. I'll let it run for a good minute or so. We'll just see what happens. So I'm going to ask you, Spirit Box, app, algorithm, whatever. That feels kind of silly, but if there are any discarnate entities that could communicate with us through this device, and we're willing to do so with the Mysterious Forces live audience, what would you tell us? What would you have us know? Okay, I pushed the mute button again. It's interesting, and what I have found with experience here is when you're doing it in person in the moment, unless something really pops out, you really only catch EVPs and other phenomena similar to this on playback. I don't know if that has anything to do with the recording medium or what. I can't explain that, but there seems to be something about the recording process and being able to go back and review that seems to allow the ear to pick out some of these messages better than you seem to in real time. It's a lot to process in real time. I wish I had like a huge list of questions, but like I said, we're just playing. So once again, I'm just going to open up the question that if there's someone that can communicate with us through this device that is willing to, please do so. We're listening.
They had one.
If you're there, give us a name. Can you give us a name?
Great.
Push pause again. We really want to hear from you. Tell us something about you. Tell us something so that we can know who you are.
And
So
Okay, I pushed the mute button again. It's interesting. I have a feeling the playback on this is going to be very interesting. I hope that you're entertained by this. We're just experimenting together here. We're just seeing what happens. So the next question I would like to posit to whomever might be able to answer us. Tell us what it's like where you are. Tell us where you are and tell us what it's like because we want to know. We want to hear from you.
Professor Harvard at I go
Okay, I pushed the mute button. Wow. They're like these bursts of activity. It's really interesting. We're getting close to time. We got a few minutes left, and I'm going to get more into the spirit box and less of me talking. So, if I were to posit another question to anyone that could answer, tell us about the spirit world. We want to know. Tell us about the spirit world.
Start it.
like
Oh,
hey, from
Yeah.
Okay, I pushed mute. I just intuitively stop at a certain point where I feel like it just kind of dies off. And we're at 13 after, a couple minutes left. And I'm going to play out. I'm just going to say goodbye now. Thank you for watching this. When the time has elapsed, the video, so thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, subscribers. Hit the bell so that you know when we're going to release more bonus information like this. And I'm going to give you a solid 2-minute play out of the spirit box. This will be about 16, 17 minutes long by the time it's over. And I'll shut up now. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. We're going to play out 2 minutes, 2 solid minutes of spirit box. And this will give you something to listen to. And let's find out together whether this has any legitimacy to it or not. And what I would ask is if there is an entity that can use this box, tell us what you would want us to know. We want to hear from you. Tell us your message. This is your opportunity.
Was okay. I think that was
I can
Probably.
let it be certain.
no.
He would.
And go. I'll let you.
No.
At the only
It's been a whole oh,
same kind.
I hear it's very
Getting the Asian version.
other things with it. He's so much outside
Americans
is
it's not
We're about to go, spirits. Give us your last messages before we go, spirits. This is your last chance. Give us a strong communication.
His
Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy Halloween.
in